Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This word with Marty is corporation. It's easy to put down corporations these days. After all, you have a lot of support from the media. Every show seems to show corporate evil, whether it be a news thing, the corporate malfeasance, or a TV show or a movie. Corporate interests are usually sleazy. But as usual on these Work with Marty Nemkos, I try to present a legitimate alternative perspective. Perhaps the most easy for us to appreciate is that if it weren't for corporations, we really couldn't afford most of the things we use. From this webcam that I'm using, a $69 Logitech webcam, but it's great. The blue microphone that's sitting next to it, that's $69, coincidentally. Which enables me to communicate with you. The computer monitor in which you're watching this, speakers, basics. I mean, it sounds silly, but the first thing that comes to mind is Best Foods mayonnaise. I love it. and it's affordable. And fresh fruits and vegetables. If it was only grow your own, I've been to farmers markets, they want $3 for one tomato. I can afford that, but most people can't. Corporate farming enables rich and poor to be able to afford fruits and vegetables. Now, it isn't their fault that many poor people walk right by the fruits and vegetable store or bodega and right to the McDonald's and order a supersized meal. That's not corporations' fault. And corporations allow us all to invest as little as one share. You can buy your kid a share of Disney stock, or yourself. I am a fan of Amazon, and I own Amazon stock, and I feel grateful that I can participate in the profits that come from all those smart, hardworking people. Medications are made by corporations. You think an individual like you or me could develop that? Corporations are efficient, and efficiency gets a bad rep these days, almost reminiscent of Nazism. Sure, corporations will be, lean and mean, and they'll fire people that they feel that are not serving their shareholder interest or the customer's interest or the coworker's interest. Sure, they'll try to price as high as they reasonably can to beat the competition. But competition enables us eventually to afford things we otherwise couldn't. I mean, I think about all the companies that make TVs. They've been fighting like heck to compete, and so that I could go right now to Amazon or Walmart and buy a 65-inch TV for $350. If first of all, none of us could develop that, but if there were, there was no competition, many corporations battling for your dollar, that wouldn't happen. We have anti-monopoly laws to prevent that. So, I think corporations, while their malfeasance is well publicized, and I certainly don't support corporations polluting the air or using slave labor in developing nations. But overall, when you really look at the impact of corporations that do have nothing, they build roads, they build our cars, they created this shirt. You think I could have created this shirt, this T-shirt, for even $50? No. So it's elitist of us to criticize corporations that make living affordable. The house, the chair I'm sitting in, the keyboard I play. And I look at the little mom and pops, they're always expensive, and the service is worse. The service I get off of Amazon when I buy something. And in general, from corporations, I don't like Comcast. I have to get their internet service. It's expensive and it's occasionally glitchy. But in general, I look at just little things. Looking around here, the hairbrush that I use, I couldn't make this. The pens, the silly little Pilot pens that I use, that I like, that cost pennies and write wonderfully and last forever, retractable. Could I make this? The paper. I make my to-do list. I have my paper. Could I do this without a corporation? Stapler. I'm looking what's just on my desk. Scotch tape. This glass that holds my pen. Could I make a glass? The picture frame. that I bought for $2 or whatever. So before we just buy the media's, as usual, manipulations, Marxist, leftist, anti-corporate, anti-profit manipulations, I invite you, look at this paperclip. Could I make a paperclip? I couldn't even make a paperclip. All right, I'll stop. I'll stop. But before we just swallow the media's leftist Marxist bias, which it really is very anti-corporate, ironically, almost all those media organizations, CNN and the New York Times, they're huge corporations themselves. And yet their reporters, there's a big firewall between the reporters and the brass, the shirt, the suits, as they say. But before you buy the rhetoric that hypocritically is perpetrated by those corporate media, I invite you to think for yourself and think about how corporations have helped and hurt your life. Yeah, they also provide lots of employment for tons of people, usually providing much more benefits. Yeah, there are some temp workers and project workers, but most employees of corporations get a benefit package that's significant. All right, enough. Okay, so my word with Marty is corporations. As usual, I thank you for watching. I welcome your thumbs up. I accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 32 books. Probably the most relevant to this is Work Stories, but all 32 are on Amazon. Just go there, search on my name, Marty Nemko, Nemko, and you will find more than you can stomach. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.